Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. So in today's video, I have a topic for you guys. Men not knowing women's bodies. Okay, this next creator, I know her accent is a little bit thick. I know, I know, but listen to what she is saying. She is dropping gems. Men actually were not thought to be men, but they were thought not to be women. They were thought so many things bad about themselves is actually a woman's trait, so they don't even know anything for real about a woman. She is speaking facts. I want you to listen. I have a few stitches to share with you guys, and then I will share my full on opinion at the end of the video. Let's get started.
I saw a video talking about that men were not taught to be men. They were taught not to be women, and rightly so. They always shamed men not to be women. If you want to cry, they say, why are you crying? You are a man. Any smart, you are a man. You are a man. Okay, what is the man? Nobody teach man waiting be man. They only teach man waiting how to not be woman. Don't cry, you're not a woman. Don't do this, you're not a woman. Don't do that, you're not a woman. Don't everything, you're not a woman. Now ask a man, as you see, so ask any man about you as a woman, he does not know. Ask him, how many days does a period take to come outside? What is the complete cycle days of a menstrual period? He don't know. Ask him, what is the time frame for abortion? Which time is okay for a baby to be aborted and which time is considered late already? He don't know. But if they shout abortion, you want to kill the baby until you get belly for them and suddenly go ask you, don't you know those abortion pills? As man, you understand, with your tongue like this, na clitoris they leak, I been a vulva they read, I been a leak, I been a vagina they leak if you won't give woman head. You don't know. Now those kind ones gonna use teeth, they want tear your clitoris for you, make blood won't come out. They know sabi chop pussy. Man don't know anything about you, but if he tell you say you give her head, now you go say don't use your teeth, use your tongue, with they gag you, won't fuck the back of your throat, it come out your ask man, waiting be monopause, you don't know. Waiting be a premenstrual stress, you don't know. Premenstrual depression, you don't know. Post-menstrual, you don't know. Post, all those things, you don't even know. You don't know say some women can run mad after they give birth. You don't know say some women, their bones, they break after they give birth. They don't know all those things about you, and that's why I want you to understand that the standard you are setting for yourself, for you to get a man is still too low. If men don't understand your body, dump that man. Any man when no fit sit down understand your hormone, dump that man. Any man when no sabi fix pad for your pants, dump that man. Any man when no sabi anything, I say make you dump that man. Because wetin we dey do? Women come become a Julius Berger. We go build man for the same world where me and you don't get equal opportunity, but check everywhere. Check everywhere, and a man still dey find 50-50. They tell you, I want to marry a woman that is not by liability. Liability kill you there. Liability choke you. Men waiting say na by how a man fuck woman nine the pussy they stretch. Your mama for no fit wear pants be that now. All the children will come up for that place. The place for too big space for no day, because you think that the vagina is not a stretching tool or it's not a stretching organ. All of una carry una senseless brain, nothing there inside. The fit build rehousing estate for una brain because it's too empty. You understand? There's nothing that I hate more than a man that is not educated or intellectual and he wants to argue about it. You see them being so lousy in their ignorance, you will not believe it. Man go they argue with you, no. How you go they argue with you, no? How you go they argue with you? You be woman. Now woman you be. You don't see women they argue about men body. You don't see us. Between our saggy boss, you don't see women they come online, they call they talk about this thing. We respect people, but make una respect us for we. Now, not even open a mouth say, please, I respect you people. You know they ever come. You guys make, if you want to trend now, all of now they dress like woman now. To make small joke, and I must dress like woman. To be funny, and I must dress like woman. But you know, we talk say woman is not funny. Women are not funny. You guys are not funny. Look at you. Anything when woman they make money now on a day there. We start salon on a day there. We do makeup on a day there. We start nails on a day there. We they do hair now on a day there. Everywhere on a day there. You stupid men. Always in women's spaces and trying to control that women's space without knowing anything about it. You cannot allow me put my range on top of now. Let me go and jog it out.
Here said something the other day, and I finally understood life so clearly. Men aren't taught how to be men; they're taught how not to be women. Growing up, I would always hear my dad say to my brother, "Don't cry, you're not a girl." Okay, but what should a boy do in this situation? And this is why I feel like men hate women so much. Because if you haven't been taught how to be a man, right, but you've been taught how not to be a woman, you just despise women because you've been told that side And those feelings and those behaviors are wrong. They discredit you as a person. And for someone that doesn't know who they are as a person, as in you don't know what a man is and how to be a man, you're in this uncomfortable limbo where it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to be, but I know what I'm not supposed to be. And because I don't know what I am, and I can't hold on to that, and I can't get value and worth from that, and my self-esteem cannot come from that because I don't know what that is. What I do know is that the other side, which is being a woman, is wrong, is dangerous, and it needs to be kept in a corner at all times. So that's why men have this hyper masculinity where they don't cry, they don't talk about their feelings, and this is when violence comes out and assault comes out, because they don't know how to be men. They just know that women are dangerous, and that is so sad. And we need to actually take time to teach boys how to be boys, to teach men how to be men, so that they just don't see women as this sort of emotional
The
threat.
harsh reality is most men are not taught to be men when they're growing up as boys. They're just taught how not to be women. I was having a conversation with my mom and my aunt yesterday about one of our cousins, and while on the phone, I heard my aunt tell my cousin, "Oh, don't do that. That's what girls do." And after I was like, "Well, what was the rest of the statement?" Vocalizing his emotions behind it. Then he started crying because they were ignoring what he was saying. He's 7 years old, and it got me thinking. As a man who grew up as a boy, we're never actually taught the things that make sense for boys to become good men. Growing up, you always hear, "Don't cry, that's what girls do." "Oh, you throw like a girl." "Oh, girls are emotional. Only girls do that." "Oh, you care about what you look like, that's what girls do." "Or you wash your face and use face lotion and use and use moisturizer, that's what girls do." And it got me thinking, like, the mental gymnastics you have to do as a man to learn how to be a man while you're a man is why so many men don't have emotional maturity, don't know what it means to be a good man, and don't understand the requirements of what it means to be a man. One that always gets me is that women are emotional, men can't be emotional. So men bottle up our emotions, but in theory, women are more emotional because they're allowed to be emotional from babies. They're allowed to express how they feel, they're allowed to have mood changes, and they're allowed to say that's normal. Men, if you do that, you are ridiculed. So what happens is, I think men become these repressed adults that become irrationally emotional until they act out. And that's when you get fistfights. That's when you get men punching the wall. That's when you get men crashing out. And I say that to say, I think to raise a child successfully, it takes a community, right? Obviously, you have your parents. The parents are the number one people who are responsible for raising you and do raise you. But when I grew up, I had my aunt and my uncle. I had my grandmother. I had a group of aunts and uncles that always were watching me and always imparted into me yearly everywhere I went. And those experiences is what I draw certain aspects of my uncles and my father to say, okay, this is the kind of man I want to be. And I thought about all the people who don't have that ability, who don't have close knit families, who don't have families who actually communicate with them, who don't have fathers, who only have women who are reinforcing this thing like, "Don't do that. That's what women do. That's not what men do." And it's like, well, what's the follow up? How are you reinforcing what a good man or a good boy like quality should be in this young? I think millennials as parents are going to do such a better are going to and are doing a better job at understanding the mental health of men. I was looking at a post the other day, and it was so refreshing. There were all these women in the post saying, "Well, I care about my husband's mental health. I care about my man's mental health. I care about him living a life. I care about him having hobbies." And I think the more men are able to have and express themselves, the more they'll impart that until their children. What's your experience as a boy growing up? Because this is mine.
Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. Now, I have some notes that I wrote down because I wanted to be able to say everything that I wanted to say. Okay, all right. To begin, yes, men were taught how not to be women, right? So when they think about women, in my opinion, they think about how not to be weak, right? How not to be vulnerable, how not to be someone who nags a lot, right? How not to be emotional. And the thing is, when it comes to being emotional, like they see it as such a bad thing, but you can literally say how you feel being emotional does not have to be a bad thing. And when we really take apart a woman being emotional, most men don't actually think about the fact that a woman's hormones play a big part. But when you say a woman's hormone play a big part in her being emotional, they don't realize in those 4 months, women go through so many ups and downs. I cannot imagine myself living in a house with someone who does not know me, who does not understand my body. Men were thought to be leaders, and they were thought to be someone who is in charge. They want to be in control of the household so bad. How can I allow you to be in control of the household? How can I allow you to lead me when you don't even know me? Like, you don't even know the size of pads that covers my ass. Like, you don't even know that. And they might think that's not something that's important, but it is very, very important, because you don't even know what premenstrual depression is. Sometimes I didn't even know what it was. And sometimes, before I found out, I would sit there and I'm like, I literally like was just fine. What is going on? And you start misdiagnosing yourself, like, damn, like, do I have chronic depression? Do I this? Do I that? You start asking yourself questions when you start learning so many things about the woman's body, not even the human's body, the woman's body. And you realize, oh my God, this is premenstrual depression. And then what comes after your periods, they don't even know. One of the big thing for me where I don't understand how women can just lay down and have children for men. He is asking you to lay your life down, not once, not twice. A lot of men will be like, oh, I want 2 or 3 kids. They want you to lay your life down so many times, yet they don't even know what your body goes through. When I say it's mandatory for people to have birth videos playing to children who are in high school, have those classes about women's bodies and even men's bodies too, but mainly women's bodies, especially when it comes to pregnancy, especially when it comes to menstrual cycles and all of that. Understanding a woman, fully understanding, because I know as women we are still learning, understanding how if they knew more about a woman's body, when I'm not saying that would stop men from being selfish, but let's really think about it. If we teach them from a young age how fragile a woman's pH is, don't you think that most men would shower properly? And when it comes to cheating, since they claim that cheating is part of their DNA, maybe they would start actually wearing condoms when they cheat. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to stop cheating. I don't know. But wouldn't they actually wear condoms this time around? Like, because the women's pH, it don't even have to be a man. It could be what she eats, what she drinks, stress, her not drinking enough water, being dehydrated, right after sex. Like, so many different things. You want to be in charge. You want to be a leader. You want to have a woman in the household. You want to stay at home wife. You want a mother. Da 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 da. You have so many expectations from this person that you don't even know. You give birth. You just laid your life down and you just had a baby. Like the lady said in the beginning of the video, I know her accent and you might not have understood, but she said your bones can actually break when you give birth, right? And how postpartum depression is just so hard for women. Now, think about the fact that you are going through this difficult time. Your body is going through so much. You are so vulnerable, and you still have to get to know this life, this little being that you just gave birth to. And how does the man who was begging you to have a child repays you? By cheating on you, because he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for you for your postpartum depression instead of helping you work through it. Because if you're doing it by yourself, right? Why am I married if we were supposed to be a partnership and we're supposed to be working on things together, right? When it comes to your business, when it comes to your job and all those things, I support you, I help you, I take on the loads that I need to take on so that you can focus on work, so that you can get the promotion and all of that. We work together. But when it comes to my body, when it comes to my depression, when it comes to my postpartum depression, we can't work together and help me go through it even faster. Because if she has to go through that by herself, take care of herself, and have to take care of a baby, and even have to take care of yourself, to take care of you. I saw a video where the woman is pregnant, and I think it was like in Nigeria or somewhere, and she had to get on her knees. I think she was ready to, she was about to pop. Okay, she was ready to give birth, and she was like holding her back to get on her knees to serve her man food. And the guy that was taking the video was like, this is how I want my women to be. We don't ask for much. The time where you should be giving her back rubs and foot rubs, the time where she should be getting herself ready to basically give life, the time where you should be talking to her, going on walks, nature walks, and talking, and literally just getting her mind off of her anxiety and keeping her from getting into depression, making her feel safe and telling her it's going to be okay. I got you. I got us. That's the time where you are asking her to get on her knees and serve you food. And he was on his phone. When I tell you, that man didn't even look up to look at that woman. Sometimes I don't want to sound rude, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck. Because I feel like women allow this. Because if we really stood up, if we really decided to make a change to not allow those things to happen anymore, they wouldn't happen anymore. When it comes to our grandmothers and our mothers who were honest with us, when it comes to, being a wife and having children, they were not honest with us, right? You see these men saying, "Oh, I want a strong woman like my mother. I want somebody like my mother." Then go marry your mother. When we really, realize that, okay, these women, they were not honest with us, they were not telling us the real truth, right? They stayed in these relationships majority of the time because they did not have any other option. So they stay in these relationships, and sometimes they will say, oh, they stay for the kids. No, you stayed because you had no money. You stayed because you had no other choice. You stayed because you were so afraid of society. You stayed because you were so afraid of the church. You were so indoctrinated into the patriarchy. So you stayed because you had no other choice, or so you thought. Right? And they grow up being submissive to their husband. And unfortunately, even the church sometimes teaches them to be submissive to their sons, which is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. But being submissive to your own son, right? And when you call your daughter into the kitchen and you are teaching her how to be a slave, you are teaching her how to be a maid, you never thought, let me bring my son into this kitchen and teach him how to take care of himself so that no other woman have to go through what I go through. And sometimes I just feel like a lot of women are just bitter. Because if you're not bitter, why is it that you never sought to make a change with your own daughter? Why you pass on that trauma to your child? And then you get all shocked and surprised when your daughter tells you she wants to be child free. You're shocked and surprised. So I do believe women play a really, really, really big part, because if we really decided that, even right now, if your parents, they're in their 70s, 80s, I still think they can make a difference by sitting their sons down and being honest with them, saying, I was not happy in my relationship. I know you're looking for a wife who's strong and who can do all the things that I usually do for you. I want you to know that I did those things. Yes, because you're my son and I love you, but because I didn't have a choice. I didn't have any way to get out of this relationship. I had to. Sitting them down and actually being honest with them. Because a lot of these mothers, they stay being submissive to their sons and protecting them, but not feeling like their daughters actually need protection. So when we and so we, you hide so much from your son where they don't even know nothing about a woman. And they keep saying that, oh, only a man can raise another man. Y'all been failing at that. It takes two, because he needs to understand how to be around a woman. Because y'all love to teach women how to act and be around men. They need to be this, they need to act a certain way, they need to not be too loud, not this, not that. Always, learn teaching women how to be less of themselves. But women need to teach men how to understand a woman's body. So when you think about, a man and you ask him simple questions about, menstrual cycles, you ask him about, postpartum depression, you ask him about all those things are things he's supposed to know, but he doesn't. But he's going to tell you he needs you to get on your knees for him. He needs you to, like the lady said, when she said that, I laughed. In the beginning of the video, she said, they don't, if you tell him, lick my labia, he don't know. You ask him to lick my clitoris, he don't know. Lick my vagina, he don't know. He doesn't even know those three things are completely different down there. He don't know, right? But they want to gag you. They want, oh, I need you to open your mouth wider. No, I want to touch your throat. I almost punched some. I'm putting my business out there, but I almost punched somebody in the face. I stopped and I got up, real demure like, and I told him to get the fuck out. This like, listen, I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. I just need this to be done. That's it. Get the hell out. Because if I can tell you that I'm not comfortable with this and you don't understand because you think I'm this robot, this machine that is supposed to, you're just pressing buttons and making your demands, and the robot is just supposed to do what you ask, that's the problem. They think that we don't have feelings. They look at us and see us as just an extension of themselves, because that's what religion told them. Adam took, God took a rib and made a woman. So they don't see you as an actual human being. They see you as an extension of themselves, and you don't deserve to have a voice. You don't deserve to be understood. So they can actually live and coexist with you. They just see you as something they can use and abuse. They just see you as something that needs to serve them. And that's it. And they say it to us all the time. That's why they don't take the time and they put in the effort to actually get to know us. I'm gonna take a break because I'm talking too fast, and I can tell this is a topic I'm passionate about, Lord. And the thing is, I didn't even look at my notes. I didn't even look at my notes. Whew. I don't even need it. At this point, I don't even need it. And one more thing that I'm gonna add. One more thing. Like she said, the standards that you have for your relationship and you have for your man, it's not enough. It's not enough. When we really sit and we think about it and we evaluate the situation, the cost, it's not enough. It's not enough. And men have told us in those podcasts, those red pill men, if I should even call them men, they tell us that we shouldn't have such high standards, right? And then tell us, what do you bring to the table? And then tell you, you need to be submissive, you need to have this, you need to have that, you need to. They have no issues constantly moving the goalposts for women and changing the standard for you over and over again. And you think just wanting a man to be a provider, I want him to be kind and understanding. That's what y'all be saying in those pop the balloon videos. Going into these shows, making yourself look foolish and embarrassing yourselves. I don't even know why y'all go to these shows, but y'all sound the exact same. Someone who's understanding. So your standards are too low. And I feel like women who go on these shows, they keep looking and hearing at these red pill men, and they kept lowering and lowering and lowering their standards to the point where just a nigga breathing now is a standard. That's it. That's it. The bar is in hell. Now when you're dating someone, I want you to go out there and actually start asking questions. If you feel like you guys are getting really serious, actually ask those questions. Figure out, what does he know about a woman's body? They have no issues asking you to get on your knees, when they want a wife to open the door with lingerie on and her mouth open and food already on the table, but he have no idea what the some of the parts of her body, what they're called. He don't even know. The standard, the bar is in hell. We need to do better. I'm holding women accountable. We need to do better. Because so many pick-me's out there, their whole entire identity, they live and breathe a nigga's approval. They live and breathe a man's attention. And it is sad, and it is setting us back. Okay. And I know it takes time, because I was once upon a time a pick me. I get it. It does take time. But if I can figure it out at 23, you can figure it out as well. You can too. And I'm 25 now. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out. It has to be an active choice for you actually wanting to make a change, and you actually wanting to set the standards and loving yourself and doing the work. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to say it's not going to be hard, because men have been told over and over again that, to see you a certain way and to not really care about your body. I mean, they just voted for abortion rights to be taken away. I mean, okay? So it's not going to be easy. If you still want to date in this day and age, because I don't think anybody should be dating right now, I made the mistake to even try again. Nah, I'm done. Done, 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 not doing it, over it. So if you still feel like, you're one of God's strongest soldiers and you want to try, just make sure you're well equipped. Okay? So thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I hope you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's continue this conversation down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Thank you. Bye.